What's up, Packet people? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a very special guest, and I'm excited because I'm going to be learning some web hacking along with you. So this guest has done a lot in the community, a lot of content on his channel as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Ben, also known as Nahamsec. What's up, Ben? How you doing?
Hey man, how's it going? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. Thanks for sharing some of your knowledge with us. So, we're going to do just a brief introduction with Ben on this episode, but in future episodes, we're going to progressively learn web hacking with Ben. So, how awesome is that he's willing to share some of his experience with us right here on this channel? So, Ben, first, let's talk about web hacking. So, why is hacking something that I should learn?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, everything that we use today, it's a form of web application, right? A lot of the mobile apps that you see are just a website that's built into WebView for your app, or they interact with some sort of an API that's on the web to send and receive your information, right? So pretty much we live on the internet, and everything is some sort of a website, an application. And I think more and more things are going to go online. Your DMV is online now. Your government is doing things online. You have to make appointments online. So everything is into a form of an application now.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're right. It's an increasingly web world that we're a part of. So, then, hey, a big question a lot of people are going to ask: is this legal?
It is legal no matter what, if you pay by the rules. So the way it works is a lot of companies have either a bug bounty program, that's where they pay you for what you find, or they have what they call a VDP, which stands for Vulnerability Disclosure Program. So if you see me say Vul Disclosure, VDP, it all means the same thing. But they don't pay you. It's just a you see something, you say something. So let's say I order something online. I ordered this chair online a couple of years ago, and I had that itch to change one character in the URL address bar. And it gave me someone else's invoice that had their address, their phone number, their order, the last that last part of their credit card number. And luckily, they had a vulnerability disclosure program. I emailed them, they fixed it right away, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for letting us know." That's still legal. They had that in place, and obviously, I checked beforehand. I did that, but it's just that I saw an issue. It affected me personally. My information's on this side. I fixed it.
Nice. Okay, good. Well, thanks for clearing that up because I know that'll be a question for a lot of people. So, for me, getting into web hacking, what are would you say are like the top three things that I need to know?
Well, one, your channel is a great place to learn the basics of like networking. It's something that people need to understand. It's you don't use it day to day, but when it comes down to like scanning, I'll throw some things that you like end mapping, port scanning. Those are the things that you're gonna need to learn, and you understand what it means because you understand networking. When you're looking at a company's infrastructure, you want to go after their entire IP space. You have to know what IPs are, what is a what is a CIDR and all that stuff, right? You have to be able to make sense of those things, or you're gonna get lost. The second thing is the basics of web. What happens when you type into your browser www.nahamsec.com? What happens? Where does it go? What is a web server? What is a header? What is a web root? What is an endpoint? What is the host? These are all the things you have to understand. What happens in the background when you make that request? Because those are the things you're going to be taking a look at. The post request, the get request, all these different methods of web applications. So those are the two main things that you need to know. And the third one is if you wanted to get into hacking, and that's a big question that I get, do I need to code? It would be good to understand some low level coding. I like to do scripting more than code because you rely on scripting to be able to automate some of your work, the really boring tasks that you don't want to do. But if you know how to code, the experience is very helpful when you can make an assumption on how this developer has made this piece of software and how it works. And for web hacking itself, honestly, you really have to just learn the different attack vectors. OWASP top 10 is a good place to start. There's more than OWASP you can go and learn. But yeah, those are the main couple of things that I would say to go and learn top of my head right now.
Cool. Well, it's going to be good to have you unpack some of that for us as we move forward in a deeper level with some of the future episodes in this series. Also, hey, if there's any for the viewers, if there's anything that you'd like Ben to share with us, any specific things about web hacking or questions you have for him, please feel free to comment below. So, I think a final question, Ben, for this intro is: hey, if I follow this series, if I watch what you're going to share with us, how will this actually help me practically get a job or even make money for it?
Well, there's exactly the two things you said. either you want to get a job. I'm hoping in the short amount of time that we have to in this channel, I get to show you how you can use this stuff as a part of your portfolio to get a job. I personally, I say is I'm a product of bug bounties. I got my first job, all my jobs, because of my bug bounty career. The first one I got was because I hacked the company. I worked for Hulu. I hacked Hulu. I did an interview with them. They hired me. The second and third, I was in the bug bounty community. They were both bug bounty platforms, so my connections helped me. And then the third, my last job was just because I became very obsessed with a particular topic and got very good at it. And then later on gave me the job. So those were, if you build up on those, your resume looks good as far as you want to get a job, and you have a hands-on experience to demonstrate on your resume. You can say, I have found a cross-site scripting, for example, on 5 companies. That is way better than just saying, I understand cross-site scripting. You have a proven method on your resume that says, hey, I have done it. And bug bounties is I don't want to say it's a saturated industry, but there's a lot of competition. It's like streaming nowadays. Everybody's streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Wants to become a streamer for gaming, right? It is that, but I think if you put in the time and effort, if you're not just doing it for the money, your main objective is to learn, and the money is a secondary. Which I know it sounds kind of backwards, but that depends on your lifestyle, where you are in your life, how old you are, your responsibilities. But if your objective is to learn and get a job and you make money, I think eventually you can become a top hacker. You can become one of those active hackers that makes money from bug bounties, but it's just more work and it's just a little bit harder. You have to really be patient, and you do remember it's a marathon and it's not going to happen overnight.
No, I think that makes sense. It maps well to honestly the packet world, right? Like you got to know the fundamentals. You got to be able to understand things at a very deep level and have a passion for it in order to
Yeah.
turn it into a money making thing. So, hey, well, great to do this intro with you. Again, comment below if you have any specific questions for Ben. He's going to be helping us learn a bit more about web hacking. And Ben, I hope I'm wearing the right colored hat.
You are wearing, as long as it's a white hat and not a black hat, we're good to go.
All right. Well, good. Well, I think we're going to have a good time. Stay tuned for the next episode, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.